it's not official. It's not like released.
Yes.
But Canon set out a press announcement about their new camera this month or this week. And it is the Canon PowerShot V1. Now, if you ask me, this camera is in direct competition with Sony's ZV1.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a fixed lens,
Yes.
like big sensor. So it's not a little,
Big sensor.
it's not a little micro. It's not a micro sensor, but it's got a decent, was it a 1-inch sensor on it? Or is it a little bit bigger than that?
I'm pretty sure it was a micro four thirds.
Is it micro four thirds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got a micro four thirds sensor on it. And it also has C-Log, from if I can remember right, on there. But what got me was, obviously this hasn't officially been announced, but apparently it's popped up on a few websites.
Mm-hmm.
And based off of, in China and in Japan, when you do the translation into US dollars, it's ranging anywhere between like $900 to $1,000 for this camera. Now, I have a question. Chat, I might be disconnected. I might be completely out because I have not bought a point-and-shoot camera in a long time. But does $1,000 for a point-and-shoot camera seem like a lot?
Oh, well, you didn't do the specs justice. I'm not saying that this is not a good camera. Well, it could be a fine camera, but it's 22 megapixels, 16 to 50 millimeter fixed zoom lens, 4K 30, 5.7K capture, so downscaling, 4K 60 with a 1.4x crop, 30 frames per second stills, cooling fan for extended video recording. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't see how today, like, don't get me wrong. I think it's a fine camera.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fine camera. And if you are someone right now who, let's say you're already in the Canon ecosystem, you already shoot log within Canon's ecosystem, and you want that like high-end, like vloggy camera. You know what I mean? Because it's 16 mils, which I think most of Sony's cameras that are similar to this are like 24 at the widest.
Yeah.
So this one being 16 to 50, I'm trying to figure out where this camera competes, because mentally I go, the benefit of a point and shoot like camera like this is you're using this instead of your phone, right? But the number one problem I have with the iPhone, really, well, not even with because I have a 15 Pro, right? I didn't even go up to the 16. But the one thing that Apple even fixed with the 15 now is the 5x zoom, right? And now the 16s have the 5x zoom. Zooming has always been the issue of smartphones. So for me, when I look at this camera, and it has all of the specs you would expect, 4K, 4K 30 or 1080 up to 120. Like, it has all the things you'd want, decent photography. Like, yeah, it's a modern day camera. It's going to be good. I am just sort of stuck on 16 to 50 because I just feel like with a power shot, with a point and shoot, the one thing that they always gave us was really good zoom, because that's going to be the reason why I take that camera on vacation versus just using my phone. Adding something else, because I'm still going to take my phone, right? You're never not going to take your phone. So if you're going to add an additional thing to your carry, it's got to offer me something that my current devices don't. And either the image quality on this thing is going to be stellar, or I personally believe it probably should have zoomed a little bit.
Well, here's the interesting part about this. If it truly is, in fact, a micro four thirds, it's got that 2 times crop factor. So what you're really looking at is a 32 to 100.
So the rumor that I saw said that it is a 16 to 50 equivalent, which should mean that you are still getting.
They've already
done the math on it. So it really would be like a 10 millimeter lens or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, dude, if it starts at 33, that's not usable for vlogging.
Yeah, definitely. And they're saying that it's a vlogging camera, so you're probably right that it's the equivalent. I got to be honest with you, Brandon. This is not the camera that I wanted from Canon. I really wanted a modern AE1.
Oh, interchangeable lenses too?
I would even be fine with a fixed lens, if we're being honest, to compete with Leica, Fuji, all of these retro style cameras, the ZF, like sort of deal. I was really hoping that this point and shoot would have been, I mean, give me interchangeable, an RE1. But I gotta be honest with you, this particular lens, I was a little disappointed. Not lens, this camera, I was disappointed. I think that if you had a retro style point and shoot, I think people could have got behind it. But I feel like with this is like, okay, maybe soccer moms.
But see, that's my number one thing. When I look at a point and shoot like this, I immediately go, okay, cool. Like, how would the parents on my son's baseball team use this camera? And the second they take it and they try to zoom out to their kid in the outfield, or even their kid at second base for that matter, and it doesn't reach, they're going to be like, I don't understand, what's the point of this camera?
There's digital zoom, I bet.
Yeah, your phone has digital zoom.
I bet.
Your phone has, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be, if you're bringing something extra, and I think Carlos, who now just goes by Q, I'm always going to just call him Carlos. He says, can it do more than my iPhone? If it can't, then $1,000 is way too high of a price.
And then who's taking both? Even if it can do more than your iPhone, who's really packing both?
Well, and that's the thing is you always, all these camera companies that are trying to, give you a reason not to use your phone. They're going after the TikTok content creators, and they're going after the mom and dads who their phone just isn't giving them enough and they want that extra edge. You have to find something that actually works for you. And Mr. Camera Junkie helped me out here because I thought $1,000 was kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But he says the Sony ZV line starts at $500 and the most expensive is $900. And so I just don't get it. I just don't understand where this camera sits. I'm not against point and shoot cameras. I think point and shoot cameras are really needed today. Doc says the point and shoot market is booming right now, and a used G7X is running $1,000 now. So I'm not against the point and shoot market. I think that actually today, because phones, they do a lot, right? But people don't want to risk their phones. We've seen it with the Osmo Action. We've seen it with the DJI Pocket system that's been doing really well. 360 cameras are doing really well in the video space. There is a need for a camera that is not a mirrorless, interchangeable lens type camera.
Oh, for sure.
But I believe that all of them are competing with, you don't want to use your phone in this situation.
Yeah.
So you want to use this. If you're on your motorcycle or you're surfing, you don't want to get your phone wet, or you don't want to put your phone in danger. You can't really film yourself on your phone while you're on your motorcycle. So use an Insta360 or use an action cam or use a GoPro. Maybe don't use a GoPro. But all these cameras, they should have a place. It's the 15 or 16 to 50 zoom for me that makes me go, maybe that's a miss.
Yeah.
Before $1,000. I just wanted to put it out there to the audience to make sure, because obviously I'm not the target audience for this. Even though I have a kid who plays baseball and I could use a camera like this, maybe I'm not the right guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is not. I expect more from you, Canon. Not to discourage you. I know you got to do something for the children, but
yeah, I'm right there with Doc. I think he just, I think we said basically the same thing. He says the current point and shoot market is geared towards TikTokers, cafe hipsters, and young travelers. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not young. But if I were going to travel, I'm looking for a camera to travel with too.
Brandon, I'm not saying any of these people are doing stuff to deceive its customer base. I don't think that they're trying to deceive. But these are the people, let me calm down, that are walking into Target and are being like, camera. They don't know nothing about focal lengths.
Bro.
They don't know nothing about aperture.
They're just going to buy it.
They're just going to buy it, and then they're going to try to take pictures of their kids or try to take pictures of traveling and vlogging or whatever. When I bought my first camera, I didn't even know what kit lens meant.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out this clip. If you enjoyed it, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other content just like this. And if you didn't like this video, it's not my fault that Canon rumors are better than their actual cameras. I'm just reporting the news. Gosh, all these Canon haters.